What is clearly a myth but is deep-rooted in our society? Body hair grows thicker after it's been shaved. The thing is, shaving can actually make your hair seem thicker temporarily, but that's just human perception being whack. Watermelon seeds will still grow in my stomach. Thanks for ruining my childhood, Angelica Pickles. Swimming within 30 minutes of eating isn't dangerous. It doesn't cause cramps. Waiting 30 minutes makes it much less likely for kids to vomit. I ignored that rule all the time as a kid until the vomit happened. And now I get confused about the cramps thing. As far as I know, it stems from the ludicrous idea that all your blood would be working on digestion, and not enough would go to keep flow in the muscles, causing a cramp that would make you drown. The widespread belief that people are sabotaging Halloween candy with needles and razors, despite there being IIRC only one documented case in the US ever. Also, that people are lacing the kids' candy with drugs. Drugs are expensive, nobody is going to waste their stash on random kids. That one documented case is a guy that tried to kill his own kids, or stepkids or something too. There used to be a thing in Korea about fan death, a belief that a running fan would eventually deprive a room of oxygen and could kill the occupants if they left it running too long. Apparently the belief was prevalent enough that all fans sold there were usually equipped with a safety auto shut-off timer mechanism, kind of like clothes/steam irons. My Korean husband kept telling me that sleeping with the fan on is not good and it's bad for your health. I laughed so hard. I told him, if that was true then I and a lot of the people in the Philippines would be dead by now. This is in India. If you pass out/faint, rub the person's feet to wake them up. TV serials taught the population this trick. If you get a raise that puts you into a new tax bracket, you will actually owe more money. My mom used to think getting a raise would result in her making less. Then when I entered the workforce, I saw someone say something similar. I was shocked to learn that this was a common belief. Edit, hearing people talking about how employers perpetuated this idea makes me feel lucky. Never had an employer tell me that. Awful to hear them lie. An engagement ring has to have a diamond. And also as a general rule it should be worth 3 months of your salary. Both come from an incredibly successful marketing campaign by diamond mining/trading company called De Beers. Why sell one ring when you can sell two? A cop has to tell you they are a cop if you ask. Not encouraging criminals here, but if you are up to some shady shit and think someone might be a cop, shut up and leave, go about your shady business later somewhere else. The amount of myths, clever marketing and bro science in the health and nutrition world is honestly too much to even list here. You mean there isn't one secret food that will make me shred fat better than cardio? That OCD is liking things to be extremely neat, tidy or organized. I'm an extremely cluttered person and just finding out in my 30s that I might have OCD based on my intrusive thoughts. The fact that in the US an employer can have a policy that says you can't discuss your wages with coworkers. It is illegal for them to even have a written or oral policy stating you can't discuss wages with others. That a polygraph test can actually be used to detect if someone is lying. This is still used in law enforcement, it's insane. It's also used in some high-level security clearance vetting. That the average person swallows 7 spiders a year in their sleep. Where TF did that even come from? I DK about you guys, but I've had a grand total of 0 spiders climb on me while I've been awake this year. I can't imagine there's any chance that I've had 7 crawl on me while I'm sleeping, let alone crawl on me, and make their way directly into my mouth. The belief that touching a fawn or a baby bird will make the mother abandon it. Complete and utter bullshit. If you find a bird out of the nest it most likely fledged. If not and it is visibly very small it is perfectly fine to pick it up and place it back in the nest. Same with fawns, animal instincts are much stronger than to just abandon their young because of smell. It has to do more with the fact that fawns hide in tall grass from predators, and the mother finds it easier by smell. Leaning your head back for a bloody nose. I think we just tell people this, so they stop bleeding on everything else, and keep their blood in their own throat. That black ladybugs with red spots are poisonous. When I was young, I had to give a presentation about ladybugs when someone claimed the spots signify the age of the ladybug in years. I said it was not true. The whole class disagreed with me because, after all, it is common knowledge that a ladybug with 7 dots equals a 7-year-old ladybug, and of course a 24-dotted subcoccinella 24 punctata has to be 24 years old. I refused to give in until the teacher argued that, since everybody was arguing against me, I was clearly wrong and should let go already. 19 teens and an adult so convinced bugs could reach the ripe age of 24 years old, nobody agreed with me, and some of my classmates kept bullying me about it for the rest of the year. The daftness haunts me to this day. That you need to wait 24 hours to report a missing person. If you sincerely think someone is missing, then report it. The faster that a missing person report is filed, the better chance there is that the person will be found. This is especially crucial when it comes to missing children. This is an important one. It's also real weird how shows keep saying got to wait 24 hours, and the first 48 hours are the most important. Cats don't get attached to their owners but to the house. Completely wrong. My poor cat. Her owner died 2 years ago, and I agreed to take her in. She was 14 years old at the time, and had lived in the same house with the same owner since she was a kitten. The first few weeks were heart-wrenching watching this cat trying to make sense of its new surroundings. She's always social anxiety. I was familiar with the cat/owner before I took her in, but I'm sure she definitely lost a few lives during her transition period. Fellaway, Solican, etc. didn't really help. She's okay now, still a little socially anxious, and stays in one spot most of the time, but she will come to greet me on the couch when I get home. The alpha/beta social hierarchy that we observed in wolves. The researcher who performed the experiment realized he had made many mistakes in his original take, and has spent the rest of his life trying to undo the damage that report has created. This is one of the worst, in my opinion, because it influences and encourages a type of dog training that is fear-based and that can hinder the relationship between the dog and the person training them, who is often the owner. The makeup of a wolf pack is mostly familial, and the ones in charge are the mother and father, not some chosen alpha. Your dogs deserve respect. That the marshmallow experiment demonstrated that kids who can delay gratification will be more successful later in life. On further review, it was discovered that what it actually demonstrated was that kids who are not economically disadvantaged will be more successful. But the most recent study found no meaningful correlation between the ability to delay gratification as a child and success later in life. That the marshmallow experiment demonstrated that kids who can delay gratification will be more successful later in life. On further review, it was discovered that what it actually demonstrated was that kids who are not economically disadvantaged will be more successful. But the most recent study found no meaningful correlation between the ability to delay gratification as a child and success later in life. The belief that lightning never strikes twice in the same place. Actually it does, and sometimes with great frequency. Doesn't the very existence of a lightning rod invalidate this saying? Anyone says you can trim fat in X area by doing Y exercises. Totally impossible. You lose fat proportionally over all areas of your body. You can't just target one area to work on. I'm speculating here, but could that have come from the fact that you build those specific muscles, causing more of a visual change? Or am I totally off base? Exercise is something I know very little about. The Middle Ages were less barbaric and dark than we think. As a medieval historian, I agree. The Victorians are who screwed us over on this one. MSG is harmful and East Asian cuisine is bad because of MSG. My wife used to think she had an allergy to MSG, because the only 2 Chinese restaurants in our hometown that didn't make her sick were the ones that claimed not to use it. It wasn't until she started noticing how many other things she eats that have MSG that she realized that it probably wasn't what was making her sick.
Thanks for watching.